I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha, and I welcome you to my channel. I'm so grateful as always that you guys are listening, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate the support. And if you guys are interested in supporting me further, you can do that by going to my Patreon site. The link is in the description below. And you can give me $1 a month, $5 a month, whatever you guys prefer. In this video, I wanted to speak to you guys about how a lot of times INFJs have this weird thing that we need to see evidence about something working before we even take it upon ourselves. I'll give you a quick example because I don't think I will explain it otherwise. So I love rice. I don't know if you guys know this about me. I was obsessed with rice. Now, it's not very typical. I come from North India, and mostly northern Indian people are obsessed with bread. So we eat a lot of rotis and chapatis and things like that, the flat breads. So they're very common for North Indian people, and my family just loves that. But for some reason, I am the odd one now where I just love rice. I just loved it all the time. I would eat more rice than anyone on the planet. I ate rice like I was a Thai person. Maybe that's why I love Thailand so much. But I ate rice like a Chinese or a Japanese person. You know how much rice they eat? I used to eat that much rice. And my mom would always look at me like I'm insane. She's like, why do you eat so much rice? And why do you like it so much? I loved it. I loved it so much. And I ate a lot of it. I mean, pounds and kilograms and pounds and kilograms of it. So recently, I've been kind of obsessed with the idea of removing sugar from my diet. Now, for the longest time, I've been trying to remove a certain amount of weight around my waist, not because it's more aesthetically pleasing, which it is, but also because I know that if you have weight around your body, if you have fat, it's a sign of inflammation, especially because I don't eat a lot. I don't eat a lot of food in general. I don't eat a lot of snacks. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink Coke. I don't eat crappy, snacky foods. I eat very little in general. So the fact that I have this weight around me means that's a sign of inflammation. And so, I try to do everything. I drink kombucha, blah, blah, blah. And finally, I realized that it was because of sugar. And I was thinking to myself, the main sugary item that I eat, because I don't eat snacks, I don't eat, I don't like sweet stuff. The main sugary item that I eat is rice, right? I eat a lot of rice. And that's a lot of sugar because it's mostly white rice. Even if it's brown rice, it's still a lot of sugar that's going into my body and causing inflammation. All this to say, I did not believe that I should remove rice until I would be able to see evidence of it. Well, I wasn't going to remove rice from my diet because I was obsessed with it. I loved it so much. And then I was randomly, casually talking to a friend of mine who's extremely fit, very, very, very fit. I love her. She does really well. She eats a lot, but she's still very fit. And I asked her, what's going on with her? How does she do it? And she randomly, casually said that she doesn't eat any rice. Like, she doesn't eat any rice or bread. Now, bread is easy for me to cut out. I do like bread, but not as much as rice. And rice I'm obsessed with. So I was like, oh, God, that means I have to cut out rice as well. But I saw evidence of the fact that she doesn't eat this stuff, these two things. And she eats everything else. She'll eat everything. She eats like sugary snacks, things like that. She'll eat everything except rice and bread, right? And so I was like, all right, I see evidence of this. I see the fact that she doesn't eat rice and bread and she's extremely fit. She's toned. She doesn't have any inflammation in her body. You can see it. And she has a lot of energy. And so I was like, all right, I can't ignore this anymore. I had to give up rice. So 3 weeks ago, I believe, I gave up rice completely, just like that. And that's what I'm talking about. I know this is a long story, but that's what I'm talking about. It's the fact that as soon as we see evidence of something working, boom, we're just there into it. We'll just do it. We won't even think twice about it. We'll just get into it right away. We won't ask questions. We won't have to do anything else. We just know that it works because we've seen it work, and that's good enough for us, right? That's a problem, obviously, with a lot of INFJs, that if we don't see it working, if we don't see evidence of it, if we don't see proof of it, we will not do it at all. We just won't do it, right? And so another example I could give you with this is marriage. I see a lot of married people, and I don't see any proof at all, at least in my circle and the people that I've met, that marriage leads to happiness or more happiness, or marriage is important in any shape or form, or it's useful in any shape or form. I don't see any evidence of it. I don't see any proof of it. No matter which circle I look at, no matter which person I look at, no matter which married person I look at, I don't see any evidence of that at all. And so I don't have any compunction, any desire to get into a situation like that where it's not going to give me any benefit, and it's not useful in any shape or form, and it's just not going to result in more happiness. Why not just, if I'm going to date someone, I'll just date them. What's the point of getting married, right? Of course, now that's just my point of view from my perspective. Of course, there's a lot of different ways of looking at it. But that's what we think. If we don't see evidence or proof of something, we need to see it in order to do something right. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I'm always sharing with you guys proof of things that I do and showing you results in my own life. Because I know that if you guys see results in my life, if you see the fact that I'm practicing a lot of speaking and that's why my videos are really good, or, I give up rice and then I slim down, or I look better or have more energy, or if I use spirulina and my skin clears up, things like that. If I show you evidence of all this stuff working, I know as an INFJ, you're going to take it and you're going to run with it, right? You're going to see the evidence, you're going to see the proof, and you'll be like, all right, cool, it works for her. I'm the same as her. I'm just a human being just like her, so I can do it as well, right? That's one of the major reasons, one of the main reasons why I was able to live this life, move to Chiang Mai, become a digital nomad, start working on YouTube, start doing all the different things I do, because I saw other people doing it, and then I saw that they were able to do it, and they were exactly similar to me. They weren't anything special. They weren't more intelligent than me. They weren't smarter than me. They weren't more good looking than me or anything like that. They were just normal, just like me. And if they could do it, I know I can do it as well. And that's what I always look at. If someone else on the planet is doing it, if someone else on the planet is able to do it, I know I can do it as well, because I'm exactly the same as them. We're all human beings here. Now, of course, it doesn't apply to becoming an astronaut or things like that, because that's not something that I'm interested in, but mostly just to things that I'm interested in, right? Of course. So this is a very important trait that we need to really hack if we're an INFJ. If we know that this is the case for us, but we don't use it. Why don't we use it to our advantage? We should be using it to our advantage. So now what I've started doing is whenever I want to bring a new habit into my life, or I want to do something new that I really am interested in, but I'm not motivated enough yet, what I do is I look for evidence online or around me that is working, all right? Like the sugar thing. I was able to ask a couple of friends of mine that were really fit and ask them how they did it, and it was basically the same thing. No carbs, right? Not a completely ketogenic diet. If you want to Google that, you can do that. Keto diet, Keto. So they aren't on a completely no carb diet, but they're on a very little carb diet, right? Like minimal as possible. And so I looked at that. I looked at the evidence and I tried it out. So then I tried it for a week and I saw an immense improvement. Like I saw the pounds just like dropping off. And it was just, what I did was I just gave up rice. And I used to eat a lot of rice, guys. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. So I just gave up rice. That was the only small little change that I made. And that's it. Like boom, like seriously, I started losing all this weight around my midsection, around my waist, obviously, my stomach and my hips. And if you guys, you can't see my body right now, but if you guys were able to see my body, everyone around me started commenting about it. And it was just a simple tweak. I just gave up rice. Now, of course, it doesn't mean that I don't miss rice or anything like that. I do love rice, but seeing the results, I am more and more motivated not to eat rice. Right? I'm not saying I don't eat rice at all. I think I've eaten it once in the last 3 weeks. Yeah, I ate it once in the last 3 weeks. So it's not completely out of my diet, but compared to how much of it I used to eat before, how much sugar I used to put in my body in the form of rice, it's a completely different scenario. And again, I see more evidence of it working. So more and more so, I'm motivated to keep on going with it. And that's what I ask you guys to do. Whatever change you want to make in your life, or whatever you want to bring into your life, start looking for evidence for other people that it's working. Look at that evidence and prove that, and use it as proof that it'll work for you as well. Start doing it, and then see evidence that actually is working for you as well, and then use that as motivation to keep on going with that path. Right? Very simple when you say it out loud like that. Not very simple when you actually do it out loud, obviously, or in life in general. But it really worked for me with this rice thing. And I am, as I said, I was obsessed with rice. I was eating it 3 times, 4 times a day, hundreds and hundreds of kilos of it. I mean, like pounds, and like my plate would be full of rice and a little bit of stuff on the side, like a little bit of vegetables on the side. But it was mostly just rice. It was like a plate full of rice. And now, no rice at all. I just eat vegetables, obviously a lot of lentil soup and other things like that. And completely different in my body. Like my body looks completely different. It's crazy how different it looks, right? So I would recommend this step-by-step process for you guys to motivate yourself as well, no matter what you're doing, whatever you're trying to do in your life. Okay. I hope this makes sense. I know I shared a lot of stories in this video, but I hope that helped you guys in order to understand what I'm trying to get at. If you guys have any questions, obviously comment below and ask me, and I'll do another video on this. I'll expound upon it. And if you guys want to support me further, of course, you can do that by going to my Patreon site. The link is in the description below. And I shall see you guys the next time around. Bye for now.